welcome back to the Psalm series. I'm Catherine Ball and this is A Touch of Flourish. Today we're going to be reading Psalm 7, a song for the slandered soul. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, bear with me guys because I just got contacts yesterday and they're still, I'm still getting used to them. So just bear with me. I'm gonna read everything as best as I can. But this is Psalm 7, Song for the Slandered Soul. I think we've all kind of felt a little bit of this before, so I think this is gonna be a really good one. A passionate song to the Lord to the tune of Breaking the Curse of Cush, the Benjamite, by King David. Yahweh, my God, I turn aside to hide my soul in you. Save me from all those who pursue and persecute me. There is none to deliver me but you. Don't let my foes fall upon me like fierce lions with teeth bared. Can't you see how they want to rip me to shreds? Lord my God, if I were doing evil things, that would be different, for then I would be guilty deserving all of this. If I have wronged someone at peace with me, if I have betrayed a friend repaying evil for good, or if I have unjustly harmed my enemy, then it would be right for you to let my enemy pursue and overtake me. In fact, let them grind me into the ground. Let them take my life from me and drag my dignity into the dust. Pause in his presence. Now, Lord, let your anger arise against the anger of my enemies. Awaken your fury and stand up for me. Decree that justice be done against my foes. Gather all the people around you. Return to your place on high to preside over them. And once more occupy the throne of judgment. You are the exalted one who judges the people. So vindicate me publicly and restore my honor and integrity. Before all the people declare me innocent once and for all in the evil tactics of the wicked. Reward and prosper the cause of the righteous. For you are the righteous God, the soul searcher who looks deep into every heart to examine the thoughts and motives. God, your wraparound presence is my protection and my defense. You bring victory to all who reach out for you. Righteousness is revealed every time you judge. Because of the strength of your forgiveness, your anger does not break out every day, even though you are a righteous judge. Yet if the wicked do not repent, you will not relent with your wrath, slaying them with your shining sword. You are the conqueror with an arsenal of lethal weapons that you've prepared for them. You have bent and strung your bow, making your judgment arrows shafts of burning fire. Look how the wicked conceive their evil schemes. They go into labor with their lies and give birth to trouble. They dig a pit for others to fall into, not knowing that they will be the very ones who fall into their own pit of failure. For you, God, will see to it that every pit digger who works to trap and harm others will be trapped and harmed by his own treachery. But I will give all my thanks to you, Lord. For you make everything right in the end. I will sing my highest praise to the God of the highest place. That was really good. So I know I have a couple of favorite verses from that, but I do want to hear from you. What is something that really pierced your heart with this psalm? I feel like we've all had a situation where we've had someone, or maybe we've been at a job, with a coworker, or we've had a friend, unfortunately sometimes family, but in some context or in some way, and at some point in our lives, we will feel like, we have someone who really just means to harm us and seems to be getting away with it. And it's really, really difficult in those circumstances to see what God is doing, because sometimes it feels like, okay, God, but where's your righteous judgment? And you're the one that is supposed to stop this. And so what's going on here? I mean, obviously you can see this person's hurting me, so do something about it. And that's why I really love this psalm, because, so David is not ignoring that feeling, is not annoying, well, but he's not ignoring those feelings and emotions and the circumstances. And what he's doing is he is saying, yeah, these people are doing this, but actually this is what I believe about you, God. And I know that this is the truth about you, God. And, so yeah, they're setting traps and they're they're really meaning to harm others. But what's actually going to happen is that they are going to fall into their own trap. They're going to fall into their own pit. And we see that in scripture, I know in Proverbs and in several other places where it's very clearly outlined and just directly spoken that that's what's going to happen to enemies. And I think that it helps to be reminded of that, because my goodness, like sometimes it just feels like God isn't doing anything. And this is a great reminder that that's not the truth, that God works on his own time and for his purpose. So we always have to get in alignment with God, and we have to remind ourselves of the truth, because man, we can get swept away with circumstances, especially when we feel like we are being unjustly attacked or harmed or slandered. And so this is just such a great reminder. One of my favorite verses is going to be verse 10. Now, I've seen this verse several different times in different Proverbs and Psalms, and I love it because it's such a good reminder. I think another translation is that God is our shield, but I love this translation in the Passion that reminds us that God's wraparound presence is our defense. And like I said, it's in several different other areas of the Bible, but in this psalm, this is my favorite verse. So it's verse 10. God, your wraparound presence is my protection and my defense. You bring victory to all who reach out for you. And I love that, because it's such a reminder that sometimes we can't see what God is doing. But as we approach God through Jesus, as we continually give, serve, worship, pray, as we continually take time out from our busy schedules and seek God and say, hey, God, what do you say about this? And wait on his answer. The truth is that in the waiting and while someone's hurting us, we are still very much protected and defended by God. And we're actually not alone in this. And I love that, because our circumstances always want to lie to us. Our circumstances are always trying to tell us, you see, God's not who he says he is. You see, God's not showing up. You see, he's not going to do what he promised. He's not going to heal you. He's not going to do this or that. And that's not true. And I think that is the most important thing for me. My takeaway from this psalm is to locate the truth about God before you start believing any of the lies. Like, hold on, I know I feel this way, and I'm going to acknowledge that. But then I also need to locate the truth, and God's truth, not like what I think is the truth. Hold on, no, what is the truth about God? Because that's the most important thing, is that we get on the same page with God, not that God gets on our page. So I think that for me in this psalm is so refreshing to read, honestly. What is your favorite verse? Or what's a verse that you just feel like just kind of is a refreshment or just a great reminder of who God is, especially with what you may be going through right now? Leave it in the comments. I want to hear from you, because honestly, I just love hearing other people's revelations, and we all have a different sight, and God shows us different things, and so maybe what you see I'm completely missing. And I just love to read that, everybody's different perspectives. I think it's so important to share, and we all have a different part of this psalm that really touches our hearts, and I think and it's different each time you go back, right? It's different, depending on the circumstances that you're in. So 3 months ago, if I was reading this, I might be going through whatever, and then now I'm like, oh, this is completely different. And so you get something each time that is so very different. That's why I love it. I love it. You can tell I'm gonna calm down. But yeah, let me know what your favorite part of this psalm is, and let me know if if you have a favorite part, if you have a revelation, you know, if you're going through a tough time and you're just having a really hard time accepting the truth about God or facing the truth, because sometimes, man, our circumstances are so rough that we feel like God's not going to show up. And if you're in that place, I think it's better to just be honest about it, and to just face it. In other words, put some light on it, because it's not like God doesn't know. And you can, just for anybody who may be feeling like, man, I'm embarrassed to share that or say that. And even if you're too either frightened or, you know, maybe just embarrassed to share it in the comments, you can see God, because of Jesus, we can come boldly before God. And so I just want you to have some reassurance that if you're having a hard time, if you're really going through a difficult situation, it's okay to let God know, because I think when we stop communicating with God, even if we're saying to God, I'm so angry at you, how dare you, da, 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 you know, I think when we stop communicating, I think that might be even more dangerous, because we really do feel isolated, because we have isolated ourselves, and we can get into kind of a dangerous place there. Yeah. I hope that made sense. I don't know. But yeah, Psalm 7 is like, it's pretty awesome, honestly. So that was Psalm 7, Song for the Slandered Soul, in the Passion Translation. I hope that you have had a good week so far, and I hope that this psalm refreshes your spirit for the upcoming week. I hope to hear from you in the comments about your favorite part of Psalm 7, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care.